Hello, my name is Daryl Lim. I'm Director of Costing and Cost Recovery Policy Analysis. What a title, huh? Anyway, so really budget and resource management, that's just the budget office, all right? So, what's so interesting about the budget office? But in our unit, you researchers may find interesting that in our unit, we calculate the facilities administrative rate proposal. So if you guys know what that is, aka indirect costs, if you know what that is, that's you get $1 in research. We're also $1 in research for NIH. We're also asking NIH for right now 60 cents. So it's $1.60 now. So anyway, we calculate and negotiate that for the university, and it pays for a host of indirect costs. So so as you go through your career, you may kind of figure out you got all those research dollars, and you kind of say, what's this indirect cost component on my research, right? So it pays for a whole host of indirect costs. The building we're sitting in now, the lights, everything that's powering your lab. So you may not be talking to me, but I hope when you go through your career, you start to understand how the university is running, and how the indirect cost supports the university operation. It may not support your research directly, your direct costs, but it kind of supports everything around your lab, okay? From the research administrators to the building, to the lights, to the interest, so a lot to talk about. So I'll go through my slides, and so we're the Budget and Resource Management Office. Number one bullet. We develop the facilities administrative rate proposal on behalf of the university. Like I said, it's 60% now. So for every $1, we're asking NIH for another 60 cents. So we also do the management allocation of F&A recoveries to the school. So that's the money back that you guys get. So everybody in the university and the departments are interested about that component. We'll also do the management of the costing policies related to sponsor awards. We want to be consistent. We don't want to get in trouble with the federal government. So we try to we want to make sure we have a consistent policy across sponsored awards. And once in a while we do a functional F&A space survey. We kind of look at the space and see how it's being used. Research, instruction, public services, what have you. How do faculty engage with our office? Our office interaction is very limited, right? Because we're central administration finance. However, we do get questions regarding F&A rates, development, what's in that 60% rate, federal regulations, and how that may affect their sponsored awards direct costs. Again, we set the costing policies. And the last bullets, departments always want to know about the allocation and F&A recoveries back to them. Okay, so what am I getting back? When do faculty engage with our department? You can always call me anytime. However, our office interaction with faculty is limited because, we're a central office, right? So we're not really involved in your research. But I want to take this middle bullet here and from the EVC Espresso newsletter, and says, a quotable quote, for many principal PIs, the issue of indirect costs can often represent everything frustrating about the modern mechanism of funding scientific research. These costs, aka facilities administrative costs, occupy a murky bureaucratic corner and a necessary but sometimes irritating component of the process applying for and receiving research awards. So I think my charge, our office, is here to explain the complexity of the indirect costs, and we have developed tools we hope to assist you in understanding. So if we ever get a question about what is my grant paying for, hopefully we can answer that, or we have tools for that. And here's the tools. You just read the newsletter from our provost. He comes out with a newsletter, and probably maybe every year or so he'll have an F&A kind of explanation to the faculty, explain it. But my favorite It's this YouTube. We're in San Francisco, so we had to have technology. Is a YouTube video on facilities and administrative components, administrative costs. It's a 5-minute video. You can search this, and it just explains the importance of the indirect costs back to the university. And that is such a cool video that, you know, I don't have to do anything but show that video because it just draws and it says if money was taken away, it's just a great video. Anyway, we get this last year we get around $250 million in indirect costs back to the university. So that is a significant recovery to run our operations. So we always get questions about that. So I invite you to watch that video. And we also have a primer that's also on our website to explain it more. So a lot of resources, hopefully in your career that you may want to understand this, that you'll go to these resources. There's my contact. We have other resources. So anyway, any